Hey guys! Today we are answering the question, do we discipline in kids ministry? And we're going to talk about some classroom management skills. So, the question of do we discipline in kids ministry, I wouldn't really call it discipline as much as we do have some clear boundaries and there are consequences for those boundaries if they are crossed. So let's chat about it. I typically find that the two major behavior issues you find are for the junior kids. It's a lot of hands-on and difficulty with too much physical contact because they're just learning how to deal with their social skills and deal with their emotions. And some kids struggle with using physical force to get their point across. The biggest concern usually we have with senior kids is sometimes with calling out and that type of goofy behavior. They're trying to impress their friends or to be funny, and it can be inappropriate and really distracting. So those are usually the two major behavior issues that you're dealing with. So here in our kids ministry, we follow a 3 chances system where we give them 2 chances, and by the 3rd chance, that's when we will speak with the parent. So let's use an example. Let's say that in the junior class, little Billy is having some trouble with using too much hands-on. Let's say that he has shoved somebody. What you're going to do as a leader is you're going to call the child over to the side. We don't want to embarrass or humiliate them in front of everyone. You're going to get down to eye level and you're going to chat with the little Billy. You're going to do 2 things. Number 1, you're going to set the boundary very clearly. You're going to say, in this class, we don't use our hands when we're frustrated. And then that's setting the boundary. Then the step number 2 is you're going to give him the positive reinforcement of what he could be doing instead in that situation. So we'll say, in this class, we don't use our hands on when we're frustrated. Use your words to tell your friends how you're feeling or get a teacher for help. And then you can have them join the group again. If it happens a second time, pull the child to the side again and just say, hey, I just wanted to give you a reminder that we're not going to be using our hands-on when we're upset. Let's use our words. And have them rejoin the group. If it does happen a 3rd time, that's when we'll have the parent come down, and then we need to have a conversation with the parent. Now, the important thing when mom or dad come down is our demeanor, right? A lot of times body language can speak volumes. And if they've gotten a call, they might already be a little nervous or on edge of why they're getting this call. So make sure when they come down that you're still smiling and you're still friendly, even if there's been a frustrating situation that's happened. In our demeanor, let's make sure that we're still positive. And when the parent comes down, we're going to explain the situation. We're going to say, hey, I think little Billy might need a break today and to rejoin us next week. This is what happened in the first case, and this is how I dealt with it. This is what happened a second time. This is how it was dealt with. And now it's happened a 3rd time, and so we've called you, and I think he needs a little break. And then another great thing to do is to say to the parent, what can we do to help you and help little Billy succeed? So sometimes the parents are already aware of these issues that their children are having. They're either experiencing them at home or already in school. So they might say, he or she does better at the front of the class in the back, or, they do better if they're not sitting beside this specific friend because they feed off of each other. Those are some strategies that you can have to help this child succeed. If it's in the senior class and it's a similar situation where, say you have a child, we'll say Sarah's calling out repeatedly and being disruptive. Again, the leader will ask Sarah to come to the side and we're going to set the clear boundary. We're going to say, hey, Sarah, in this class, we don't yell out. So then step number 2, you're going to give her the positive reinforcement of what she could be doing instead. So we're going to say, hey, Sarah, in this class, when we have something to say, we don't yell out, but we put our hand up and wait to be called so that everyone has a chance to hear. And then you let them rejoin the group. If it happens a second time, you pull Sarah to the side again. You say, hey, Sarah, I just wanted to remind you, in this class, we don't yell out, but we put our hand up if we have something to say. And then if it happens a 3rd time, that's when we can get a parent and follow the same procedure. When parent comes down, make sure that we have a happy and positive demeanor still. We don't want the parent to feel like we're attacking them or that we're angry or frustrated, but just that we're letting them know of something that we need to work on. And then that's when you go over it again. This is what happened the first time, this is how it was dealt with. This is what happened a second time, this is how it was dealt with, and now it's happened a 3rd time. I think she needs a break this week, and let's try again next week. And again, when the parent and you start having that dialogue, always offer help. So what could we do to help Sarah succeed? Again, is it a different placement in the classroom? What could we do? Because our ultimate goal in kids ministry is to be partners with parents. We want to come alongside them and help them. We want to be a positive influence in their child's life, and we want them to feel like we're on the same team. We got your back in this parenting thing. We're not here with judgment or trying to tell you what to do as a parent. We don't want you to feel shamed. We want you to feel like we are a resource for you. So we want to make sure that our demeanor is always conveying that message. And secondly, I'd like to say that even if a child doesn't get to that chance 3 where we have to call a parent, even if they've had that chance 1 where you've had to pull them aside and speak to them, or a second time, when the parent comes to pick them up, it's good to just mention it. You don't have to make a big thing of it, but just to say, hey, little Billy had a great day today, but we did have to chat with him about some hands-on, and he corrected it and was great for the rest of the class, but I just wanted to let you know. It's good to keep an open and honest dialogue with parents, because if you ever do end up getting to that 3rd chance where we have to have the parent come down, and then it comes out in conversation that we've been struggling with this for months and the parent was left completely in the dark and has been blindsided, that again doesn't help to foster that feeling of being a team and working together and being a team player. So if we do call the parent for the 3rd time, we don't want them to feel like they're completely shocked. So it's good to always let people know that things are going on. And then a lot of times parents can then be our ally, where they'll have a conversation with their child and say, hey, you know what, we keep our hands to them ourselves. And maybe next week when they drop them off, as they're going, they'll remind their child, I want you to work on keeping your hands to yourself. So it's really good to just have open feedback. I think it's setting boundaries for both the leaders to know what the expectations are and for the kids to know what the expectations are is really important. I think being open and honest and having that communication with parents is really important. And it's the way we say it, right? That's so key. So make sure you're smiling, make sure you're calm. Even if that means you need a minute before the parent comes, take that minute so that you can have a really positive interaction with the parent, even though you're talking about something difficult, that they still walk away feeling like they are loved and cared for, and that it's a positive experience. So you guys are so awesome. You do a great job with the kids, and I hope this video helped. If you have any other questions about classroom management in the class, just shoot me an email and let me know. Bye.